What's up, YouTube? Crimson Ferret here, and welcome back to episode 3 of my Final Fantasy VI Let's Play. Last time on the Final Fantasy VI Let's Play, we got to South Figaro, did a little bit of exploration, got some treasure, some nifty stuff, and now we are moving on through Mount Koltz, where we have heard that Edgar's brother Sabin may have gone. He's apparently chasing after Vargas, Sabin's martial arts trainer, Duncan's son. So I'm sure we're going to be running into one or both of them soon enough. This is the first real dungeon that you get to in the game. Nothing too dangerous in here, with the exception of... Oh, there's a shadowy figure off in the distance there. And you can see a treasure chest off to the right. I'm sure we'll be getting that soon. Nothing too dangerous here, with one exception, kind of. Okay, these guys. Not dangerous, but they are somebody that we're going to want to hang around with for a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and noise blaster them. They've got a bandana to steal. Now, two of the characters we've currently got, Locke and Terra, can both use the bandana. And that will be quite handy for them. It's a definite upgrade for their headgear. If I can, I want to steal 3 of them at this point, because a character that we're going to be getting shortly can also use the bandana. So, depending on how long it takes, I'm almost certainly going to end up fast-forwarding this bit, just like last time. Hopefully I'll actually have something to show for it once I'm done, though. So, I'll go ahead and come back with you guys once that's all said and done. See you in a bit. No luck there. Just in case I run into somebody else, I'll go ahead and bring the talking back. Okay, so we just picked up a main gaucher for Locke here. Definite upgrade from his mithril sword. That's that item I was talking about. Gives him both a boost in his speed, which is how quickly his action bar fills, as well as a definite increase in his attack power over the mithril sword. So go ahead and throw that on there, and gives him a boost to evade. You actually, with a main gaucher equipped, you actually have a chance of blocking with the weapon, in addition to the chance that you have from your block stat, which allows you to block with your shield. So very, very nice boost to your damage avoidance capabilities there. But we'll go ahead and back inside and see if I can't run into some more of those Zagrum, because I really want that. Oh, these guys. Yeah, they don't have anything too interesting to steal, but they can hurt pretty bad. Their regular attacks don't hurt too much, but I believe they have a Tusk attack or something like that that does considerably more damage. But all things considered, I mean, between noise blastering them, if you really feel like doing that, Gore, that's the attack, yeah. So that actually does, I think, double their normal physical damage. Might as well go ahead and send Locke out to steal. Ah, that was silly. And an auto crossbow should finish off that first one. And we should be able to finish off... Oh, finishes off both of them. Okay. The only real thing to be concerned about here is just making sure that, you know, outside of combat, you're checking your hit points. Keep everybody topped up as well as you can. Don't want anyone getting KO'd, because at this point our Phoenix Downs are in very limited supply. More of these guys. We'll just go straight for the kill at this point. No, not going to bother with noise blastering them. The auto crossbow does excellent work here. And that, combined with a multi-target fire, gets them pretty darn close to dead. And this should finish them off. And that's that. Yeah, so really not that bad. There's another level for Edgar. That's good. Yeah, there's that shadowy figure again. Moving on here. These guys are a little bit annoying. They won't be an issue for us now because of the star pendant we've got equipped. But that Bane Touch attack that he just tried to use, the reason it missed is because our characters are currently all immune to poison. If the Bane Touch attack just sets poison. Although, if you confuse them, they'll actually poison themselves, which is kind of nice. Doesn't do any initial damage. It just sets poison. That's it. So once the Bane Touch attack has been used on one of your dudes or one of them, once they're poisoned, it will no longer work. But interestingly enough, it doesn't count as a physical attack. So they can just sit there and do Bane Touch all day long, and it won't make a damn bit of difference. They'll never turn back around. So no real reason to use fire there, but it just speeds things up a little bit. Between that and the auto crossbow, yeah, that'll pretty much take care of it. This is definitely training wheels time in the game. Very few things are going to be at all dangerous to us at this point. Even the upcoming boss fight. These guys. These guys right here are the only even remotely dangerous enemy, simply because if you allow them to take 3 turns, they will try to use Beak on you, which can set Petrify, which just instantly kills the character that it hits. They also have, there's Beak, see? Beak and Break both do the same thing. They just set Petrify. But once you turn them around, they'll use Break on each other, as well as having a chance to use Beak on each other. Yeah, he's probably about to kill himself, although it may miss. Yeah, okay, it missed. It doesn't have a 100% hit rate or anything, but it can. It can certainly kill them. I don't believe they'll actually use it on you, though. They just use Beak on you. And there's a nice tent. Those are a bit expensive, so it's nice to find one for free. There we go, some more Zagrum. Hopefully my luck is better this time around. And as usual, there's one bandana down. Okay, so we can go ahead and kill that guy. We don't need him anymore. Of course, he's going to turn the other one around. Okay. Nothing there. And we'll just Noise Blaster him. These guys, unfortunately, every attack they do is a physical, so they're going to constantly turn themselves back around. So it's just kind of annoying having to keep reapplying Confuse, and they will just eventually kill themselves. Once they've done enough damage to themselves, obviously, they just die, so. But we'll keep at it as best we can. No, nothing. The bandana is a rare steal, unfortunately, so you've got like a 1 in 8 chance of successfully getting the bandana, and that's on top of the chance that you have of successfully stealing in the first place. Since, as I believe I went over, the way the game calculates your chance to steal is it first determines whether you successfully steal, and then it determines whether you successfully steal, or which slot you are aiming at, and then determines whether you get the item out of that slot. So basically you have 2 checks that you have to go through. The first is, did you successfully steal? And the second is, which slot did you hit? So if he's, in this case, got nothing in the, he just kills himself. If he's got nothing in the common slot and an item in the rare slot, you have a much lower chance of getting the rare slot when you attempt to steal. You have to successfully steal, and then you have to get the, I think it's like 12.5% chance of hitting the rare slot to get anything at all, even if you successfully stole. So you are very likely to just get nothing when you're aiming for a rare slot steal. Oh, another chance here. I think at this point we've pretty well covered all the possible enemies, so we're going to go ahead and just fast forward a bit. Hopefully when I come back I'll have 2 more bandanas to show you. See you in a bit. That's bandana number 2. 1 more to go. There it is, bandana number 3. Alright, finally. Move on with this place. Sorry about that, guys, but it's well worth trying to pick them up now, since it's a significant upgrade over what we've currently got. Okay, might as well go ahead and equip those bandanas that we just worked so hard to get. And there's Lock. And as you can see, it both increases your magic defense and your regular defense, so it's It's the best head armor you can have for the light armor characters at this point. Unfortunately, it's not something for Edgar because he's actually a heavy armor character, but such is life. And Terra's looking a little bit low on MP, but that shouldn't be an issue. Oh, there's that shadowy figure again. I wonder who that could be. Potions only restore, I think, 50? Yeah, 50 hit points, versus the high potions, 250, but at this point, we've got 17 of the damn things, so it's absolutely worth, having a good stock. Regardless of how far through the game you are, if you've got tons and tons of potions, might as well use them. And here we are at our save point. I think, yeah, what I'm going to go ahead and do here is, oh, that's right, cure costs 5. All right, so what we'll do is we're going to use a sleeping bag just on Terra. No sense using the tent since everybody else is so close. That'll get her hit points and MP back up, but mostly it's the MP we're concerned with because now we'll just go ahead and do a multi-person cure, which costs 0. Doesn't cost any more MP to use a multi-person or multi-target spell versus a single target, so it's a lot more cost-effective to do it this way, and that'll bring everybody up, all for the cost of a sleeping bag and 5 MP. Now that we've done that, go ahead and save. Just in case, I'm gonna make a backup. Never know what could happen. And now we can move on. And here we... Wait, did I think I forgot to do something here. No. No, okay, that must be later. Oh, we did, we gained a couple levels throughout, that farming experience there, so Terra's once again a couple levels behind, but that's okay. Edgar is just that much more powerful at this stage. Oh, never mind. It's not there. I know there's some side path on this mountain here that leads to a different, or leads to a treasure chest. I think it's got a set of silver spectacles in it. Again, not a terribly important relic to have, but it's nice that it's there. At least that way if one of your characters gets blinded, because I think that's, yeah, darkness is something that lasts outside of combat as well. You can just throw the silver specks on them real quick to remove the status ailment and then put something worthwhile on. Now this is kind of a nasty group. I think what we're going to do here is go ahead and splurge on a bit of fire, and definitely want to hit these guys with a noise blaster. If we're lucky, we can get those Serpius to take out either the Trillium or the Gorgias. Gorgias? Whatever. I believe from the Trillium here you can steal gold needles, by the way, which actually cures Petrify, so couldn't hurt to try and pick up a couple of those. Oh, there's a break coming out. Not bad. Alright, we'll go ahead and let you attack. Oh, okay, never mind. Maybe that wasn't such a good idea. Oh, that worked out well then. Lucky break. Speaking of break, there's another lucky break. How about that? Yeah, that noise blaster is absolutely one of my favorite tools. So powerful, especially at this stage of the game. Okay, Locke just gained another level. Alright. Always end up getting a random encounter just before that dude. Every single time. That's alright. At this point, it's nothing but annoying. Later on in the game, though, I mean, it can get to you can get to points where the random encounters are, in some cases, more dangerous than the bosses you're gonna fight, but we're definitely not there yet. All right, so we might as well save on the MP and what the hell? I don't feel like going through that. That should be plenty good enough for our purposes, and we will go ahead and speak to this guy. Sabin sent you, right? I guess he doesn't like Sabin much. Who are you? Sabin, is he here? You were shadowing us earlier, right? What the hell are you talking about? Okay, so this is not the guy that's been bouncing up the mountain ahead of us. Huh, it doesn't matter who you are. I will not surrender. We're not asking you to surrender. How unlucky it is that you have run into me. So this guy's a grade A dickhole. Alright, so at this point in the game, or at this point in the fight, rather, we can't actually attack Vargas. He's hiding behind his two bear buddies. So, for the time being, we will go ahead and just see if we can't steal some goodies off of them. Noise Blaster doesn't work on them, unfortunately, so we're going to have to just go with good old auto crossbow. Maybe throw a couple fires out there. Once these guys are down, then we can actually start dealing with Vargas himself. But this is... oh, high potions. They have high potions. Nice. Vargas will keep throwing out that Gale Cut shit, which that can hurt pretty bad if you catch it at the wrong time. Yeah, like that. That was pretty bad for Terra. Okay, now once they're down, he's going to alternate between doing regular attacks and Gale Cut for the most part. So you want to keep Terra pretty much open to do cures as needed. And just hit him with a Bioblast. Being that he's human, he's A, weak to it, and B, he'll start taking that nice poison damage, taking down. We'll go ahead and just let her sit for a minute. Locke can steal that same item that I was trying to get off that stupid Belmadas earlier. You can steal it off of Vargas here. So I'm going to go ahead and try for that while I basically just let Edgar do all the work. Now, after he says this, he should follow up with 2 physical attacks. Yeah, back to back. That wasn't that bad, so we'll just go ahead and let that sit there. Kind of just waiting for him to... okay, so that's his common steel emptied. Kind of just waiting for him to do a Gale Cut before I... oh, there's a Mangoshe block right there. Okay. I'm just waiting for him to do a Gale Cut before I use a Cure with Terra. You don't actually end up finishing this boss fight with these characters, so you just have to do a certain amount of damage to him. That's why I'm not too... okay, that actually ends up there. And somebody... give it up, Vargas. Oh, look, it's Sabin. So you've come, Sabin. Vargas, why'd you do it? How could you do your own father in like that? Guess we know what happened to Duncan. Fool, he made the mistake of choosing you as his successor. He snubbed me, his only son. No, you were the one he chose. You're a liar. Our master wanted you to be his successor, not me. He appreciated your fine spirit. I love the way the characters in the background keep turning back and forth between them. Just kind of adds a amusing visual to it. Enough of your lies. Now have a taste of my superior technique. Mortal Attack Blizzard Fist. Well, that seemed pretty badass. Kind of wondering why he didn't open with that earlier, but whatever. Ah, Sabin, the master taught you well. I guess there's no avoiding this. Fate made us train together, and fate will send you to your doom. Now, he opens the attack with Doom Fist. It sets a modified version of the Doom status effect on the character it hits. I can't actually spend too much time talking here because if you look above Sabin's head there's a timer counting down. You can't really see it because of the arrow. But at this stage, you have to do a certain amount of damage to him. Now, Sabin's special technique here is Blitz. Basically, you enter a certain button combination and then hit the A button, and he will do an attack as long as you enter the combination correctly. You can't aim the attack. You can't choose who it hits. Some of them hit everything. Some of them will just pick a target at random and do it on them. The way you end this fight is by hitting him with Raging Fist, or Pummel, as it's called in the original version. It's just left, right, left, and then they hit the A button. Sabin does have 2 other blitz techniques you can do at this point in the game. He learns more as he levels up, but he is easily the most powerful single target damager we have at this point, thanks to Aura Cannon, which is another one of his blitzes that we've actually got right now. But even though Aura Cannon's more powerful and far more impressive attack, the only way to end this fight is to use Raging Fist. So, that's what it is, I guess. What the? He already taught you that? If only you hadn't been in such a rush for power. And that's Vargas down. Unfortunately, no Mithril Claws for us. Those would have been a nice item to have on Sabin, but he doesn't really need it at this point. His blitzes will easily carry him quite a long ways through the game. Big brother? The brothers are reunited. Not sure what Locke was doing there. Younger brother? At first glance, I thought he was some bodybuilding bear who had strayed from his gym. Bodybuilding bear? I'll take that as a compliment. Anyway, brother, what are you doing here? I can't help but picture him talking in Hulk Hogan's voice there. Not that I'm gonna try to do a Hulk Hogan impression, because I can't. We're on the way to the Saber Mountains, to the Returner's hideout, no doubt. Seems like Sabin's already up to speed. I've been watching from afar, hoping that the world might regain some sanity. At this rate, Figaro will be reduced to a puppet state. Our time to strike back has arrived. The Empire is going to pay for what it has done. I'm no longer their lapdog. Think a bear like me could help you in your fight? You'd join us, Sabin? I think Duncan would rest easier if he knew his disciple played a part in bringing peace to the world. Well then, let's get going. And now we finally have a full party, and we are once again going to go ahead and just move Sabin to the back because he's going to be using blitzes. So there's no real reason for him to be in the front row taking more damage. And we can go ahead and throw on, yeah, see, it would have been nice to be able to throw on the Mithril Knuckle there, or Mithril Claws rather. Go ahead and throw on his bandana, and at this point he has, minus the Mithril Claws, the best gear he can currently have. I don't believe Sabin can actually use shields, but I think if you have a second set of claws, you can have him use 2 sets right off the bat, so you'd actually get 2 attacks in a row, which is nice. But that said, oh, real quick, go ahead and show you his blitz list. So left, right, left, that was Raging Fist. This right here, it's anyone who's played Street Fighter, it's the Hadouken. That's Aura Cannon, that's the one we're going to be mostly using. And then XY down up is not one that we're going to be using very often. I don't know if it's called Suplex in this version of the translation. That's what it was called in the original translation. It may be called Meteor Dive or something like that. I'll show it to you in a little bit and you'll be able to see what it does. It does extra damage if the enemy you use it on is the only enemy left on screen. But certain enemies are actually immune to it, so it's an XY down up, I think it was. Let me just check that real quick so I don't forget. Yeah, XY down up, okay. And got a tent. Okay, I did in fact miss the item I was hoping to get here. How on earth did I manage that? Go ahead and check the walkthrough real quick just to see where it is. Yeah, it should be here. Okay. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and cut this bit out because I have to go all the way back to the beginning to get this item, but it's definitely something that we want. So, see you in a minute. There it is. Okay. Gygus Glove. And there's nothing interesting about that Pillar of Light, unfortunately. The Gygus Glove, I'm actually going to replace the Hyper Wrist with that. What the Hyper Wrist does is it increases your Vigor, which is used to calculate your physical damage with most attacks. The Gygus Glove, on the other hand, just boosts your physical attack damage by 25%, whereas the Hyper Wrist increases your Vigor stat by 50%. Yeah, 50%. So you're going to end up getting more out of the Gigas Glove than you are out of the Hyper Wrist. So what that's going to do for us is A, increase Edgar's auto crossbow damage, which is very nice, and B, frees up a Hyper Wrist for us, which we will go ahead and throw on probably Locke, since he's I think we'll go ahead and remove the Hermes shoes from him, give him the Hyper Wrist so that he can actually have some respectable damage output, and then throw the Hermes boots over on Sabin, since he's going to be our primary single target damage dealer at this point. And now it's just a matter of getting back to where we were before, so see you in a bit, guys. And we're finally back. Alright, well, throughout all that, got some more levels. Terra's finally fairly strongly caught up with everybody else. Only one level off, which is nice. And at this point we should be slightly, in a little bit better position for the rest of the game. So hopefully we won't have to do too much more of that, though. I really don't particularly like grinding, so. Anyways, time to move on and see what's in store for us. After one more random encounter. Actually, you know what? Yeah. So this is Aura Cannon. Go ahead and show that off now. Last one, Noise Blaster these guys. This should easily take out one of these dudes by himself. Yeah, 440 damage. That's pretty solid damage at this point. Sabin really is a beast. And then this right here, oops, wait, X, Y, down, up, there we go, is Meteor Strike. Again, this is originally called Suplex in the original version of the game. So 370 damage. Not bad. Not great, though. Aura Cannon, I believe, is actually the holy element, so it's good to know because you don't have access to holy damage outside of the Aura Cannon for quite a long while in the game. So it's nice to know that, especially if you're going up against an enemy that's either weak to it or immune or absorbs it, at which point you're probably going to have to use something else. And I believe the other special effect that his blitzes have is Raging Fist, I believe is barrier piercing, so even if an enemy has Protect up, it should still do full damage. So this right here is going to be our last chance. I'm going to go ahead and save now at getting a free Mithril Claw. And I'm going to go ahead and do that off camera, actually. But for right now, we're going to go ahead and call this a day. So thank you for watching episode 3 of Final Fantasy VI Let's Play. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments. You know, the usual stuff. Anyways, later, guys.